coming to you. Because they're like, she's waiting, she's waiting, she's waiting. Do you understand? Okay, good. Whose name is Donna in here? Donna. Okay. It's not over here. Whose name is Donna? Okay, good. I think this goes along with the horses I was feeling and Margaret, okay? Because someone keeps saying talk about Donna, and I'm being told it goes along with the horses I was feeling and the grandmother energy, Margaret, for you. So I'm just going to wait until I come to you guys next. But somebody keeps saying to me, talk to Donna, and that doesn't mean somebody here on the physical plane. It does mean it's somebody here on the physical plane. But when they say it in a certain way to me, that's how I know it's somebody in the group. Perfect. Good. All right, so I'm going to leave that for a minute. All right, who at the table is carrying the loved one's item or wearing it? Are you wearing a loved one's item? Perfect. Because I keep being told when they make me feel like I want to put it in my hand and place it against my heart, it's that you brought something with you or you're wearing it. Do you understand? Perfect. Good. So I'm going to leave it until they validate. Okay. Is one a piece of jewelry? Because I just got talk about the jewelry. Do you understand it? Whose jewelry do you have on? Okay, perfect. Good. Because I keep being told it's in honor of me, the jewelry. So you have that in honor of him? Perfect. Good. Were you hoping he would validate it? Okay, because I just heard I needed to make sure I talked about that necklace. Remember, I have James here, I have the grandmother energy, and then I have, remember, the long line of 7 just behind him. But I keep hearing, talk about the piece of jewelry, okay? Is it engraved? I can't even see, I just see it's silver. He keeps saying, talk about the words, talk about the words. Okay, perfect. You understand that? Okay, good. Because he kept saying, talk about the words. Alright, I'm going to go back and forth between him and James and this grandmother. Again, I feel the really strong emphysema from him. So he's already given me his name and validated himself, which is wonderful. Okay, who called him Jim? As he said, my name was James, but most people called me Jim, and if you want to call me Jim, you can. Do you understand? Good. But you were hoping to hear from your dad today more than anybody, because he keeps saying to me, it's about my daughter today. Perfect. So I'm just going to leave him for a minute, because I'm already feeling the grandmother as well. Were they your main two? Your dad and your grandmother? Because she just said to me, we were the main two for her, and I had to make sure that he was with me when we came here, because it has to be about saying happy birthday to her. Okay. Did you lose him unexpectedly? Because he's saying to me, I know she knows what I struggled with. They watched me go downhill, but there's part of her that feels like she lost me sooner than expected, meaning it doesn't always have to be that it happened really quick. It can be about the time frame. Do you understand it? Wonderful. Okay. So he's starting to actually fully step in. I'm going to go back and forth between all 3 of them, and that's okay. I need to stop for just a minute. I've never seen this before, but somebody's showing me a boat. They're cracking champagne over it, and they're saying to me the boat was named after somebody in the family. Who recognizes that? It's very specific. It's extremely specific. All right, I'm going to leave that for a minute because it could be one of the people that work here. Remind me after the group is over to go around to the employees because they're saying to me it belongs to an employee. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to leave that for a minute because I'm like, this is not coming from him. What is this? And I can see the champagne bottle. I've never seen that before. And I can see it broken over the boat, and it's named after a female. So I'm going to leave it. So it could be it's named after either a server here or the boat is passed down through the family. So I'm going to leave that for a little bit because that's a whole new ball game there. I've never seen that before. All right, so I'm asking him to come and stand beside me. James is here. I'm going to ask your grandmother to move around, and I'm just going to start to talk to him. Who's the one that either got or thought about the tattoo? Okay. Because I keep getting talk about the tattoo. Who else in the family or friend has had a hard time? Because he keeps saying me talk about the toe. Huh? Okay. That means that somebody's thinking about getting a tattoo, so whether they got it or they're thinking about it, I know it's going to make sense to you when you start talking, okay? Because he's not making it feel like it belongs to you, so that's why I have to say who. Do you understand? Perfect. Because it's his way of validating about the necklace for you. He's showing me yellow and pink balloons. Why they're yellow and pink, I don't know. It just doesn't mean that it's specific to you, because I know it has nothing to do with colors for you. It's just what he's choosing, the way he's choosing to show me. Alright, I gotta figure out how to state this, so I'm just gonna repeat his words. Tell her I know that she feels like she's getting older, but tell her she's not that old. Do you understand that? Do you understand why he's saying that? Okay, perfect. Did you ask him to step in today and validate that it was your birthday and say happy birthday to you? And you wanted him to mention the necklace as well? Perfect. So that's why they're the very first things I got. He makes me feel like he wants to talk about the signs for you as well, because it's his way of making me validate that there's signs for you. So I'm just going to take my time with him, honey, okay? You feel like you had time with him, but not as much as you wanted? Because he's saying to me, we had time together, but not as much as she wanted and not as much as I wanted. Do you understand? Okay. Are you the only daughter? Because he's putting the white pedestal in front of me, and he's talking about how he put you on the pedestal, and that's usually because you're the only daughter. Do you understand? Good. He's very independent. He's got a really strong personality, so I'm going to start to describe him a little bit. Do you understand it? Very, very, very strong-willed, very independent. He makes me feel like very focused, very, very, very determined. Do you understand? But he makes me feel like he's a little bit easygoing too. Do you understand? Good. All right, what else do you want to say to me? So I'm trying to see if I can get anything else about his personality. He said talk about the necklace, talk about her birthday. You feel like you had a chance to say goodbye, but not the way you wanted to? Do you understand it? He's making me feel like he's not fully vocal. Do you understand that? Meaning, I know it's his way of saying he didn't get to say everything to you that he wanted to say. Do you understand? Perfect. Good. So I'm just going to let him start to talk. Who's Robert? There's a gentleman just behind him saying, it's not your dad. There's a gentleman just behind him saying, my name is Robert. Okay, it very well could be. Meaning he might have stuck around just to say hi to you. But I keep getting Robert. And that's your dad? Perfect, good. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It just means that I'm going to talk to your grandmother. James is here for support. Your grandmother's here for support. I'm being told she's going to say just a few things. But it's about you making the connection with your dad. And then I have Robert just behind. Okay? Perfect. And I just said, well, you decided to take your sweet time because I was already communicating with them before. He said, but I had to make sure that she had a chance with her dad. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So he's being polite and courteous. And that's okay. And did you guys call him Bob? Did somebody call him Bob? He said, you can call me Bob if you want. Okay, so I'm just going to leave him for a minute, okay? He's very strong and, like, ready to talk. But I want her to have the time with her dad first, okay? And I know I'm only going to have a few minutes with your dad. Is this your first time doing this? He said, this is my daughter's first time. I have to talk to her. So we have daddies going back and forth, okay? So I have your dad and their dad, but their dad's already given me their name. He's making me feel the connection with you because there's so much he wants to talk to you about, okay? So I'm going to listen to everything else he wants to say. He is, This is your first time talking to him, honey? Is he saying to me, this is my first time talking to her? There's so much I have to say to her, but a little bit of time. So I had to talk about the birthday and I had to talk about the necklace. So I'm going to ask him what else is important for him. He keeps saying to me, all of a sudden she's the queen. I know know it's hard for her because it doesn't feel like the same, and she feels like she lost me. You were close to him. Did you go to him for advice? Because he keeps saying to me, I know that she keeps looking for me to give her advice because that's what she would come to me for, and I know how hard it is for her because I'm no longer there to give it. Do you understand? He said, I don't want her to feel like she's lost me because she hasn't. I know it's just a different relationship that we're going to have now because I'm in heaven and she's there. Do you understand? Okay, so it's his way of saying that he's going to continue to be with you. Okay? But not only was he giving me the necklace to validate because of the words Daddy's little girl, now I understand why he showed me the pedestal. And now I understand why you put those words on there. Do you understand it? Is that a song? He said it's a song too. Whatever that is. Okay, so I'm going to leave that. I'm asking him if there's any signs that he wants me to give you and anything else that he wants to validate. Because I want you to know the signs that he's giving you or the ways that he's trying to be in your life to make it easier for you as far as the connection. Do you understand it? All right, perfect. Okay, I know everybody's really excited about talking, and I've never had to do this, and I don't care if you guys talk, but I need you to just bring it down a little bit. Because as you guys are talking, I'm missing every other word he's trying to give me. Okay.
Hello, how you doing today?
You don't have to be that silent. And I've never had to do that, but it was like really loud, and he's trying to talk to me, and I want her to be able to get everything out of her reading. Alright, I'm asking him to go back to what he was making me feel before. Okay. Do you feel like you've been getting signs from him, honey?
No.
Okay, because he's showing me white feathers. Have you found them yet? Okay, because I feel like it's a new sign, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, no, it's not my first time too, so I came here.
Perfect, okay. Well, he's taking that and taking the feathers and using the feathers as one of your signs. Do you understand? Good. Because he's showing me a white feather and he keeps saying to me, this is just going to be one of my signs for her. Okay. What's with the double rainbow? Okay. Who sees a double rainbow as a sign from their loved one? I've never had that before. He recognizes that. All right, well, I'm seeing that just behind him, so I'm going to leave that until I come to you. But somebody keeps, as he's giving me his sign with the feather, there's people standing back here, and someone keeps showing me a double rainbow, and I know somebody sees it as a sign from their loved one. And it just means, just like your dad, Robert, I know that I don't have very much time left, and everyone's trying to, like, grab my attention and introduce themselves. But I want to get everything else that he was trying to say to me that I couldn't hear over everybody else, okay? So I just want you to watch for those feathers because it's just one of the signs he's sending you. Even though it's a new sign for you, you don't recognize it. It sounds like it's significant, and there's probably that reason why he picked it out. Do you understand it? He's saying to me, tell her thank you. Do you understand why he's saying that? Does that make sense to you? How are you attached to him? Because he's saying to me, tell her thank you for supporting her. He makes me feel like I care about you. But I feel like there's distance. That's why I had to ask. And that can mean separation, or it can mean that you're a friend or family member, but you weren't close to him in the end. Do you understand? No, I'm asking. But when they make me feel the separation, it's probably because of some kind of divorce. When I feel the separation, he still makes me feel separate from you, which means it can be one or the other. Okay, good. Because that's the first one that I named. So you understand why he's bringing it up. And you brought that?
I just noticed the stuff on the wall.
That's why. That's why he's bringing it up, because it's a double validation, honey. Because all he kept saying to me is, I feel like I'm separating the two of you. He keeps saying she's such good support for her. And then he keeps saying, tell her thank you, tell her thank you, tell her thank you. And I feel like he cares for you. Do you understand? Perfect. So you understand it. Good. That's what it's about, honey. So it's not only him giving you thanks from the other side since his passing, but it's his way of probably giving the double validation because it's something that you carried. So you understand why he's saying it? Wonderful. Because he kept making me feel like I wanted to separate the two of you. And then I feel the separation between the two of you, but then he makes me feel there's caring and love for you. So I think it was probably about the divorce. Do you understand? Perfect. Or separation or whatever it was. Okay. Do you understand what he's saying to me? He could have been a better husband. Because he's saying to me, I think she knows in my mind I always regretted some of the things that I chose to do and I could have been a better husband. Do you understand it? Okay. So it's just his way of saying he takes responsibility for what happened. Do you understand that? Okay, we're not going to get into anything personal. But I'm just repeating his words because again, I'm being shown the wall and I'm being told that would be too much for you to consume today with him getting personal. So he's respecting your boundaries. Do you understand it? Okay, meaning that you're just more of a private person when it comes to that subject. So that's why they're showing me the wall, okay? But he keeps saying to me, she needs to know how much I still loved her and how much I cared for her. It just was never the same between us after, again, I get the separation of the line because he's drawing the line in the table. It's like drawing the line in the sand. Do you understand? And all he keeps, I'm just going to listen, he just keeps making me feel like there's so much caring for you that he messed up and he wishes in his mind there was the regret afterwards and he wishes he could have handled things a little differently. That's all I'm going to say to you. Because I know what it's about, but it's personal. Do you understand? Perfect. So we're going to leave it, okay? But not only is it him thanking you for the mother that you were to her, but the mother you still are, and how much support not only you gave her before, but that you're giving her now. Do you understand that? Do you recognize the name Kenneth? He recognizes Kenneth? That's very specific, Kenneth. All right. Do you not know your genealogy? Okay, good. Because I asked my guide, who does this belong to? And my one guide just said to me, Kenneth is back through their bloodline because there's a gentleman standing just behind your dad saying Kenneth, and then I have their dad Robert that I'm going to come to next. Okay, so it's just somebody here that's for supportive energy. But he keeps saying to me, I will always love and care for her. And it's not just my daughter that I make sure is okay. And that they both need to know how much I love them. But today has to be about my daughter because I know how important it is for her to hear from me. Because he makes me feel like he hasn't been out of your life very long. That's how I know it's more of a recent passing. Do you understand it? Okay. Because the way he's making me feel, that's how I know it's a recent passing. And he keeps saying to me, the anniversary, the anniversary, the anniversary. Okay? That's how I know. Huh? Okay. That's how I know it. That's how I know it just passed. Perfect. Okay. Anniversary doesn't always have to be about the year. So not only is the validation about what you said before, but he keeps saying to me recent passing, which is 3 years or less. And then he keeps saying to me the anniversary was just celebrated. So that's how I know that's just happened. Because you could say the 6-month anniversary and that could have been 2 years ago because it just related to the feather. But it's his way of giving the double validation, the secondary validation to what he was making me feel before about the feather because that just happened this past week. Do you understand it? Good. That's what it's about. How old's your son? Okay. because he just keeps saying to me, he's such a young boy. He's such a young boy. When they say that, it means that they're 10 and under. Okay. So your only child? Okay. So all